speed of sound increases in hot air. Sound needs something to travel through. It moves by making tiny air particles bump into each other, just like passing a message from one person to the next. When air becomes hot, the tiny particles in it start moving faster. So, since hot air has fast moving particles, sound travels faster in hot air. Light travels fastest in vacuum. Light slows down when it hits particles like air or water. In a vacuum, there are no particles at all, no air, no gas, nothing. Since there is nothing to block it or slow it down, light travels at its fastest speed. Who proposed the law of gravitation? Newton. Newton proposed the law of gravitation. He explained that every object in the universe pulls on every other object with a force called gravity. This idea helped us to understand why apples fall down, why we stay on the ground, and how planets move around the sun. Which particle had no charge? A neutron has no charge. Protons have a positive charge and neutrons have negative charge. Which wave requires a medium? Sound wave. A sound wave needs a medium to travel. This means it must move through something like air, water, or a solid. Sound travels by making the particles in these materials vibrate. Electricity is produced in a generator using magnetic induction. A generator produces electricity using magnetic induction. This means electricity is made when a coil of wire moves near a magnet or when a magnet moves near a coil. The movement creates changes in magnetic field and these changes produce electricity. The boiling point of a water in Celsius is (100°C). Water boils at 100°C. This is the temperature at which water changes from liquid to a gas. Below 100°C, water only gets hot, but at 100°C, it starts bubbling and turning into vapor. That's why the boiling point of water in Celsius is 100°C. The first law of thermodynamics is based on energy conservation. The first law of thermodynamics is based on energy conservation. This means that energy cannot be made from nothing and cannot disappear. It can only change from one form to another. When you switch on a bulb, electrical energy changes into light and heat energy. The unit of electric current is Ampere. The unit of electric current is ampere. Electric current means how much electric charge is flowing through a wire. Which mirror is used in car headlights? Concave mirror. A concave mirror is used in car headlights. It gathers light and then reflects it forward in a strong focused beam. This helps the car headlights shine brightly and light up the road ahead. Which device converts AC to DC? Rectifier. A rectifier is a device that changes AC alternating current into DC direct current. AC keeps changing directions but DC flows in only one direction. Which phenomena causes the sky to appear blue? The sky looks blue because of the scattering of light. When sunlight enters the Earth's atmosphere, the tiny air particles spread out the colors of light. Blue light gets scattered the most because it has a shorter wavelength. Since blue spreads in all directions, our eyes see the sky as blue. Which gas is filled in electric bulbs? Electric bulbs are filled with nitrogen or argon gas. These gases do not react easily with the hot filament inside the bulb. This helps the filament glow brightly without burning out quickly. What type of lens is used in a magnifying glass? Convex lens. A convex lens is used in magnifying glass. This lens is thicker in middle and thinner at the edge. It bends light rays inwards and make objects look bigger and clear. That's why when you look through a magnifying glass, small things appear enlarged. Why do we see lightning before we hear thunder? Light travels faster than sound. We see lightning before we hear thunder because light travels much faster than sound. Light from the lightnings reaches our eyes almost instantly, but sound from the thunder takes more time to reach our ears. Why does a black car get hotter in sunlight? Black absorbs all wavelengths of light. A black car gets hotter in sunlight because black absorbs all the colors of light and turns them into heat. Why do hands feel warm when rubbed together? Friction converts kinetic energy into heat energy. When you rub your hands together, they feel warm because of friction. Friction is the force that happens when two surfaces slides against each other. As your hands rub, your movement energy, kinetic energy, changes into heat energy, which makes your hand warm. Why are electric wires made of copper but coated with plastic? Copper conducts electricity. Plastic is an insulator for safety. Electric wire are made of copper because copper is a good conductor, meaning it allows electricity to flow easily. They are coated with plastic because plastic is an insulator, which means it does not allow electricity to pass through. If you place a balloon in sunlight, it bursts because air expands and increases pressure beyond limit. When a balloon is kept in sunlight, the air inside it gets hotter. Hot air takes up more space, so it expands. As the air expands, it pushes harder on the inside of the balloon. When this pressure becomes too much for the balloon to hold, the balloon bursts. What happens to pressure as you go deeper in water? Increases. As you go deeper in water, the pressure increases. This happens because the deeper you go, the more water there is above you, and all the water pushes down with greater force. So, the deeper you dive, the stronger the pressure becomes.